Alrighty. Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's hey John. John. Yeah, going to. Hey Jack, how you doing? Happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. So good morning, world. Let's see what's going on today. Where are we at now? Let's get see if I can hear myself. That's always good too. We'll double check that in a few seconds. Here it comes, and there it is. All right, there we go. So it's a quiet day here in America. They are trading. I see the stock indices are trading. I didn't think that they were going to have them trading, but they are trading, and I'm a little surprised by that, but that's all right. Sometimes I've seen them turn them off for this holiday. So, let's see, there we are. And, we're running out to a parade in about 45 minutes, 50 minutes, something like that, celebrating the birthday of America. And, let's see. You can see we have, do we have the Swiss up? Let's go to J4X and see if we have the Swiss up. We're just trying to figure out. There's the Swiss. You can see dollar gaining a little bit against the Swiss, nothing major. You see the same thing over in Chicago Quant. Bingo, bingo, bingo. And TGIM, thank goodness it's Monday. And then let's check out. Oop, that's not it. Right there. I'm trying to get to the news to see if there's anything particular, like oil prices could hit stratospheric $380 if Russia retaliates against G7. Now, I've been hearing that for like the last 4 days, and that's one of the big headlines today. Let's take a look at oil and see what's going on with oil. Hey, Robin. Oh, did you see that? The meal fell out of the weekly sell. So the one I saved on Friday. Then I went back and looked at it again and realized that soybean meal fell into a sell again. So it's in a weekly sell. But the oil's looking interesting. That's a July contract. I'll switch. We'll take a look and see what the open interest is, and probably put the most open interest in there to chase after on the soybean meal. All right, we're over there. Let's go and see what we can find here. Yeah, there we go. You can see they're ticking away. So the NASDAQ is down 48 points. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 37 points right there. And S&P 500 right there is down a little under 10 points. That's the action we're seeing this morning. And then let's check out oil itself. I'd say the oil have something there. There we go. There's oil. They are trading the oil contract too. That's being allowed to be traded on the open, and you can see it's trying to lift up in here, and we're moving up to the 109. I guess what's that mean? Since these articles, I've been hearing them since Friday, that they're talking $380 oil. That seems to be crazy, but anything's possible. I don't think we're going to see 380 oil, because I think oil would come out of the ground everywhere and anywhere at $380. I don't think Mr. Biden could stop it. I honestly don't. I think that there would be such a roar in this country that we would be back to production and be the world's leading producer again in gasoline. Or I guess it would be crude oil. We'd be the leading producer in crude oil. And then you can see, how about that? So from there, that's fascinating. Let's see. From there, we go over and we look at the euro. And there's the euro. And you see the pressure on the euro. And we'll slip over to Chicago Quant and see what it looks like there. Bingo, bingo. A little strength here this morning, actually. You can see that. There's a little strength there. So as much as the red is going on at the moment, they're actually selling dollars against the euro, and you can see the weeklies being pierced again. I'm sorry, no, that's the daily. The daily is being pierced, so it's trying to actually get into the buy again after the last 4 days. The weekly, the weekly is down. There's not a lot of action there. It could be the classic of the thin market. I mean, no one's participating here in the States. I heard that Russia declared some type of victory in a certain region in Yugoslavia. In what is it? I'll figure it in a second. Ukraine. So with with them declaring a particular victory in this particular spot, maybe that will put pressure on what's going on. In other words, maybe that's why we're seeing the grains and like the soybeans and the corn and the wheat all falling down. They're all lower, going down in value. Let's give you some pictures of that. Let's see if we can find that. We won't go up on a chart. We'll just draw out the picture. So here is December corn, and you can see right there. There's December corn. It's been in a weekly sell. You can see that. So maybe the Ukraine is coming to an end with this fighting situation. So in other words, they'll control a certain particular part, and then what'll happen is as the Ukraine gets stronger or healthier, it will probably get more of its land back, that type of thing. Over here we can take a look at the wheat, and that's Ukraine is the breadbasket of Europe. They grow a lot of wheat. Let's take a look at that, and you can see right there, same situation. It's been in a sell for a while, and maybe this is the ending of that Ukraine situation, or let's say a stalemate. You can see the weekly all the way down in here, and then from there we'll take a look at one more. We'll take a look at the soybeans, and they have those on J4X, so let's take a look at it there too. Let's see, right there it is. And let's put the soybeans up there. Where's it at? There it is. Now that's the July contract that's getting ready. Oh no, that must be the September this must be September. That must be the September contract that I have, or that they're using. Let me just I'll confirm that. Hold on a second. But I think Dukascopy has the September futures contract up there. Let's see, right there it is. And the answer to that question is September soybeans are trading at no, actually, you know what that is? That's the August contract, 1509. That's what that is, 1509. So the I guess the attitude is that the war might be coming to an end. And you can see we went into a weekly sell last week, couldn't get into the buy again, and now that was Friday. They put it into a sell on Friday, and that is the August contract. And then the September contract is even down harder, and the November contract is even down harder. So in other words, the August contract was down 50 cents, which is a lot for that product. And soybeans in September are down 58 cents, and the November beans are down 62 cents. So they're putting pressure on the commodities. So this might be a sign now that Russia came out and said, we've succeeded at what we wanted to do. They may just, it may become less of an aggressive thing and more of a, digging in type of thing, like a North Korea, South Korea type thing. And that would make sense to me. Because I have a hard time believing that Russia wants to keep on trying to fight a war that they have the whole European Union chasing after them like dogs after a mailman. All right, from there, we will jump to, so where are we heading for there? Let's jump over to, I don't know, let's see. Let's look at the cable. There's the cable. Cable's lifting up this morning also. They're moving a little away from the dollar, but what's interesting is Swiss is being moved away from too, which is kind of odd, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So the place that money was running to for safety seems to be the place that they're running away from now. And there's cable. You can see that little reddish thing going on, but you see the green line popping up right there. And the same thing on Chicago Quant. We are flirting with a daily buy. Now all we need is that weekly, which has been in a weekly sell now for all the way back into April, right there. Oop, you can't see it. Let's get a little bit tighter there. There it is. All the way back in April, this pink line going up and down is right there. You know, saying, hey, maybe we're coming down to the end of this. If we can only get that thing to climb back up into this. And we almost did at one point right here off of this. It tried and failed. But notice that it's made a higher low. So there's the low there. And this low is higher than that low. They call that a higher low. And market technicians look at that and try to call that a failed sell-off. And chances are it's going to have more strength, you know, that type of thing. And that's the way that usually plays out in the end. Let's see. From there, we're going to drift over to the Turkish lira. We saw that it slid into a daily buy again last week. There it is. So it's 3 days now on the buy. Still holding up in that weekly buy. And this is the Euro Turkish lira. And let's throw up the dollar Turkish lira over on J4X. Right there. Doing the same thing. You got the greens going there, and you've got the green line moving up. So you can see that pressure on the upside, and you can see it here on Chicago Quant, the same situation with 3 green dots. The pressure is on. And let's just check out the dollar side of it on here. And then maybe we'll flip-flop. We'll put the euro up on J4X. Let's see, right there. You see that strength again. They did get it into a sell for a few days, but it just didn't have any real staying power. And the weekly, at most, has gone down to the time manifold and stopped. So there's not a lot of, as we like to refer to it all the time, conviction. Don't see a lot of conviction in wanting to allow this thing to go down. Whatever they came up with that policy, it seems to have defunct it somehow or another. Sad but true. I noted we had somebody come on the webinar in the chat line tell us that Turkey is setting up a way to stop the population from buying dollars. I could see that having a nice influence. There's no doubt about that. So that's why the dollar fell right here for a couple of days. They were, the obvious money or easy money to spot probably moved out of the dollar when they heard that the government was going to hinder the investment in dollars itself. Excuse me. So that's pretty much the Turkish lira dilemma, the patent place of Turkey, whatever you want to look at it or think about it. And I mean, pretty much that's what it comes down to. So now, from there, let's see. What am I looking for? Oh, there we go. Let's jump over to Canadian. As you can see, the Canadian is trying to move down against the dollar today. Notice it's gaining in value. There's less American dollars to be bought when they need to buy them. So that's good. And at the same time, we go over to the oil contract, like so. And you see the oil contract rising in value, like that. So you put the two things together, and what do you get? You get, the oil market gaining in value, but nothing major. It's not like we're going to $380 tomorrow morning. So I think that's a strange thing. $380 of oil. I don't know what could trigger that. I mean, it's hard to believe. Sometimes some people say to me, how would the Dow Jones Industrial Average get down? How could the Dow Jones Industrial Average get down to say 800 points? And I'm like, why would you think it's going to go to 800 points? And they say, well, we think it's overvalued. I said, yeah, but it's trading at 30,000 now. How would you? I mean, how can you imagine that is going to go there? I mean, that means like Apple Computer's out of business, and ExxonMobil is out of business, and I don't know, IBM is out of business, and Microsoft is out of business. I mean, I think my answer was something like the sun blowing up, maybe. So when the sun blows up, will anybody really care where the Dow is or what the price of oil is? No, not at all. So it'll take out the whole solar system. So, it's the same thing. How can they imagine oil going to $380? And it's a headline this morning, too. I'll show it to you. Which is, that we have seen it. Oh, where's it at? It's gone now. I did see that. You stand up. Body cam. It was on Zero Hedge. There it is. There we go. Oil price could hit stratospheric $380 if Russia retaliates. 380. And this is JP Morgan. I got the email about that it was released on Friday from an old friend. And it was like, are you kidding me? That's insane. It's like, that's ridiculous. I mean, I could see, like, I understand $200 is something people should pay attention to. That makes sense. And I could see it getting up a little bit higher, but I'll tell you, $200 oil, they're just gonna have to. Yeah, I see the email you sent back, Robin. Cool. That's just crazy stuff. Just crazy. $250 possibly, or $225, but $380. That's really some strange supply and demand. All right, let's take a look at Canadian here on the J4X right there. You see it's trying to move down, which is nice. It's got that red thing going, which is confirming that the oil market is firm and trying to lift. Now let's jump back to, let's see, the Canadian right there as you see it. You see it's pressuring down. You see it's breaking down on the daily right there. I'm into the daily buy right here. Put that up there. And it's trying to get into the sell right there. So, and it's still in that weekly buy though. That's the thing that's bothered me. I have a hard time believing that that the Canadian is going to do any real moves until we see that weekly roll over. So far, we're getting in the shadow of it. You can see the blue dashed line is trying to break down, and it's through the zero line at the moment. And let's just take a look last time where it did that, where, like right here, I guess you could say. But then they did it together, which made sense. So you had this nice little sell-off right here. But you can see right there it did it. It broke the zero line, but they both broke it. But here it is. This is the Canadian going up, and this is the blue line breaking the zero line. And it took a couple weeks for this to really put a top in to get going down. And then when it did, off of this week right here, we went into a daily sell, broke down a little bit, buy, and then back into a sell. And that second sell was the winner chicken dinner. For those traders out there always looking for the big win, the answer to that is, put binaries that will go on for a couple of weeks, like 3 and 4 weeks. At least, make them 3 or 4 month old binaries, or just put spreads. All right. Now from there, we drift over to gold and the South African rand. So we're going to do this. We're going to take a look at gold on J4X right there. And you can see it's breaking down. And you see this is popping up. And then over here, let's take a look at the gold contract itself. On Chicago Quant, it's trying to lift up today. And that's been in the sell since over in here, and now it's is that gold? No, that's crude oil. There it is right there. And so it's been in the sell. It went into the sell last week. We got that weekly sell last week. Been in a daily sell since up in here. So it's been one little glide path down. Let's now take a look at the South African Rand. We would have to assume that it's trying to go down today. So let's take a look and see. Right there. And it is. It's down a little bit today. And it's been in a daily buy since right here. And the weekly is looking relatively firm, that's for sure. It's not like they're giving it up any. We're in a weekly buy now from last week. Right there. Now that doesn't give you confidence in the metals market, that's for sure. Definitely not. Then, what do we got going on from there? So that's the South African Rand. You know, we didn't look at the peso last week on that Friday where we got involved in quant conversation. Let's see what the peso is doing today. There it is right there. Peso still trying to lift up a little bit in here. Still doing that thing back to the 50 percentile. And the weekly's holding up pretty well at the same time. Yeah, that's a curious market. It really is. Now, from there, let's see. What else can we pick out? That's about it when it does the currencies, and it doesn't seem like anybody's out there really watching today. Everybody's running away. Everybody is taking the day off because of the market and the holiday. So now, our next stop is, we'll go to the metals complex, and we'll see what's going on there. Okay. So, there. And you see gold. So let's see what silver's doing. Right there. Wow. Is that right? No, that's Friday. Friday? Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, that's Friday. So they really beat up the silver on Friday. I just want to double check it on another computer. I knew it was down and so forth, but I didn't think it was that much down. Silverado. Do, 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 do. So what's that? That's I guess that's July, isn't it? So we're getting to the point now where we need to look at the August contract. No, I guess it is a September contract. And let me just look at the chart here for July. And yeah, they really did beat that up pretty well. This has to be a little fixed. The high is much higher, but yep, that's the Friday. It was down, and it did close in the 1959? Yeah, 1959 right there. And at the same time, let's fix it. See if we can get this thing to kick out something here. Settings. There we go. Still nothing. Huh. Interesting. Because it is trading. Is it trading? Yeah, it's trading. They have it. They have a quote in it. 1978. So it's about 20 cents higher today. I'm not sure why it's not reflecting it, but it is 19 cents. 19 cents higher. Copper. Copper showing that it's trading today. There it is. It's playing with the daily buy with no problem. Weekly is still being weak, I guess you could say. And let's start the week off by looking at platinum. Right there. And platinum that's a Friday quote? Yep, a Friday quote. Let's see what it's doing today. And platinum is 1875. Yeah. So it doesn't look like they're really trading it today. Let me put the chart up. No, they're not even trading the platinum today. So the pressure is on the metals, and I guess if the stories are right that Russia has declared victory, maybe they're going to stop bombing. I guess that mall was a really bad one where they bombed the mall last week. They need to do a lot of damage control at this point. So maybe they're going to try to find a way of exiting the active battle and try to just defend territory, and then maybe they can negotiate a limited peace, and then Ukraine will grow out of it from there, and then someday they'll go after those properties again. We'll find out, but one thing is for sure, we're seeing it across all the commodities. They're driving them down hard and fast. So that means that the world is not so nervous about the value of the grains anymore, and maybe we'll see the Ukraine wheat get out the door. All right, and over here, let's check out the same things with the Dukascopy's chart. The J4X shows the silver down and feeling the pressure. A little turn there, but overall it's down. It's reflecting today's trades. And then let's get rid of that right there. And then we'll look at the gold again. There's the gold, kind of the same way, just a little bounce going on, just like we're seeing it. And then last but not least, obviously the copper. Right there. And what we didn't do is we did not look at North Sea oil. And so we'll take a look at that, and we'll go to the back month of U.S. crude oil. And we'll take a look at natural gas in the States, and we'll look at natural gas in Europe. They'll tell us. That'll be a real telltale sign, too. And there's Brent. Brent showing that little strength there. And then obviously the back month of oil right there. Where is it at? Oil right. It's around here somewhere. There it is. The October contract. Isn't it? Yeah, that's it. The October contract. Trying to lift up, show that little firmness that's going on. It is pushing. And then from there, what do we got? We got, let's see, what's natural gas. Let's check out the natural gas. Right there in the U.S., just flat, but it's going into a sell a couple days ago. Hasn't gone anywhere yet, and it's in the weekly sell now for a bunch of weeks. So we'll see if that also tells us that there is less selling going on in that sector. And then let's take a look at it. You can see it here. Same thing. In the 5-7 area, not the $8 area and the $9 area, which it has been in. You can see it up in there. So they are selling it down overall in a very leaky, slow drift. Now let's check out European natural gas, which has been trading in the 27, 28, and 29 area, as high as 30. And is that it right there? Gas natural. Yep, there it is right there in euros. Good. No, not good. I thought it was 26. It's 28. So they're moving back up on this again. And we keep on hoping that we'll see that change, where Europe can start to buy natural gas. Here in the States, as you can see on Chicago Quant, you see the little box there. It's trading at $5.76 a cubic foot. In Europe, natural gas is trading at $28.25 basically. Well, it's in euros, so it's 28.25 minus the euro, which is the euro is trading at like 105. So it's very small. It's only like a 3% difference. So you're talking about that the natural gas in Europe for the same quantity is over $28, and here in the States it's under $6. So it's something has to change there. That's a dramatic number. I mean, it's just you got if it's not worth saying, but in the end result is that with Mr. Biden in office, there's a we're not helping the world by not using our natural resources. That's the key to it all, really. Alrighty, now from there, let's see what is from there. Oh, here we go. There's Jordan. Hey, Jordan. And there is Metho 2000. Metho 2000, how are you? Happy 4th of July from the United States of America. So from there, let's see, we did crude, unleaded, not crude, we did crude, natural gas, and North Sea Brent. So that kind of completes our action there. Now we'll go and take a peek at the stock indices. There is the S&P 500. You can see it's just down a little bit. We go and look at it through the intraday, and you can see right there it's down $8. Not too bad. And then we go back to where we go back to the Tech 100 right there. You see, same thing. It's down a little bit. No major pressure. It's still in the weekly sell, just like the S&P is. And at the same time, we slide over to the shorter term, the intraday, right there. You can see I should add another day to it. And that'll help it out. 3. Bing. And so that is down 49 points. So there's a little pressure there. Over on Chicago Quant, let's see what the Tech 100 looks like and the S&P looks like. Right. I just saw it. There we go. There's the Tech 100, like what we have over here on the right. You can see that pressure on the downside there. Same thing here. That's the intraday. And that's down 48.5 points. And then when we go and look at the daily again, you see that it's in a daily buy for the last 2 days. But it closed in the weekly sell, so maybe they're going to go sideways. But if Russia is going to start pulling back and not pulling back as much as just stop firing weapons at people, that would be a very positive thing. I think that would be very positive. And then again, we take a look at the S&P 500 right there on JForex. In a weekly sell, and now that's interesting. There is they've got it trying to perk up into a daily buy today. Let's see what it get. Let's go back to it again. Yeah, so we're a second day of a daily buy there. We closed on Friday in a daily buy and a weekly sell. Oh, let's get rid of that like there. Like right there. There we are. And that's the answer to it all. Alright, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to take a look and see what the chart looked like that we sent out on Friday. We'll have to check those numbers. Oh, I see what happened. We had a red and a green. And it was still minus too. But today, and whatever numbers they put into the product, obviously, let's see, where are they saying? They're saying that it's settled at 3827 on Friday. Let's double check here. 3827. And on here 3827. Yeah, I guess so. That's the close of Friday. So that's the right close. We'll check those numbers and see. I guess how did they get rid of the green dot? I have no idea. They just plowed more information. No, they plowed more trades into the system. Can we look at the yen 30-minute chart? Looks like a wedge sort of price action. Okay, let's check it out. Jordan has a yen for the yen. 30-minute. Let's see, right? The dollar yen. There is, oh, that's what it is. We have a tick there. Okay, so there's a 4 hour. Let's do this. We'll go we'll play with this a little bit. We're gonna go with what Jordan asked for. If I can lock in on it, there it is. There is the. Let's see. Let's put it in. The yen, USD, JPY right there. And let's expand it a little bit. Settings. Let's see, what do we want to do? We want to go to a half hour. So that's 30 minutes? Or do they do a half hour? I think it's, I just have to put, they do an hour. So let's put 30 in there. There we go. There we go. How's that? Didn't have to wait too long there. That's not bad. You can see it went into the buy. Are you talking about this as a wedge? That's more like a plateau. Almost in many ways, it looks like a reverse head and shoulders. That it could be a head and shoulders. That could be one shoulder. That could be the head. There's another shoulder. Let's give it some time back. Let's get like 10 or 15 days into it. So we'll go with 5. There's 5 days. Let's go to that one. Let's go to 7 days. So you can see here it went into the buy. Could this be the wedge you're talking about? Or you're thinking this is a wedge? A W, yeah. That's what I'm looking at. The W. Thinking it could be a reverse head and shoulders or a head and shoulders, either one. You can see it went into the buy here, climbed up. Now we're just doing this sloppiness. Let's see if we widen this out for you. Yeah, see how sloppy that is? Like sell here, and that was okay, but it didn't really go anywhere. And it tried to get into a buy there, but I don't think it made it into the plus. That's still, is that a plus? That is a plus, isn't it? Yeah, that's a plus. So it got into the plus there for that. And then the next tick, it tries to go into sell, but there's a green dot. So then there's the sell right there, but then you're back into the buy again. So you're still long from all this. And then it goes into a sell. There's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then it finally goes into a sell right here. And then it goes back into a buy right there. It's going nowhere. That's something you don't want to trade until it breaks out. It's got to break out, really break out. And then a lot of times it'll do the William O'Neill cup and saucer, where you get the handle of the saucer. So it tries to break down, fails, and then takes off on the upside. Went into a buy. So yeah, from where it went into a buy, it's really choppy. This here, or not here, not where it went into the buy right there, but you're talking about like here, that plateau from, I'm just going to put a line in there for you. Basically right around here. You're thinking that's the triangle right there? My first attitude or inclination is it's a major holiday in the United States, so the world is barely trading. So that looks normal, like it's going nowhere. Now, what will, like here's one like right here. Let's put a big oval around it. Right there. Yeah, and then wasn't as spiky. It was more calm, but it did it all in the sell, which was really nice. And it led you all the way down to here. Whereas this, look at this, we're going to put a rectangle around it. Compared to this, let's do it over here. That's really choppy and sloppy. You know, it's not consistent, so there's not much of a reason to want to try to get involved in that. What you want to do is you want the holiday to pass or the markets to get moving into the like away from the holiday, and then maybe if it tries to break up, that's the one you want. If we get into we're in a buy signal right here, but again, nobody's around. It's a holiday, and what I mean by not putting down people who are here because I'm here. That's why I do the webinar. But no, there's nothing really justifying that. It's not looking. I would not try to get involved in it because it's gone sideways there. I would wait for it to make a commitment solely because the market's overall probably. I imagine if we put up like British pound and euro, they all probably look that way. Want me to try that? In other words, I think everybody's probably in that boat. We can throw up the euro in a half hour. Let's do that. Well, Jordan's thinking about it. There we are. No, that didn't work. What happened there? Cancel. Let's try it one more time here. EUR USD right there. There we go. Let that fill in. It's starting to fill in. Let's see what happens. We can go shorter days and then go extrapolate back. Settings. So let's just go to like 2 and see what it'll do there calculation wise. And then what we'll do is we'll go to keep on jumping around. Nothing there. So then let's try this. But you can see it is doing somewhat of the plateau. There you are. You can see it's trying to do a little plateau thing there too, just like the way the yen is doing. Oh, let's take a look at the daily and weekly again. There it is right there. Oh, we're in a weekly buy, that's for sure. It is trying to curve. We're in a daily sell from Friday, and it's trying to break down. So it's kind of stuck in one of those situations where you really don't want to be in either of them. You just want to. Yeah, I'm almost done. See, yeah. We're gonna be ending this webinar in the next 4 minutes or so. We got to get out of here. So it's a 45-minute. 50-minute webinar instead of an hour-long webinar. And let me think. What else can we say about any of that? I guess that's what it really comes down to. The markets are quiet, and it's not something you want to try to get involved in and put a position on, unless you're doing it like on an intraday and you see and a real edge. I don't see anything. I see that sloppiness. Let me go back to it now on the chart for the euro. Let's throw the cable into that one too. I want to see what the cable looks like on that 30-minute. Let's do the cable, because I would imagine most of the products are doing that right now. There's the cable GPP. Yeah, see the same thing. They're all that's a half-hourly chart. They're doing the thing now. You can without a doubt there is definitely more sideways action in the USD JPY. No doubt about that. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. So, but I wouldn't take that as something like it's something that you could as we would say, you can hang your hat on. I mean, it's definitely twice as long as the others. There's no doubt about that. So, indeed. What else can we say about any of this at this point? Just kind of. Let me see. I guess from there, where were we? We were looking at Oh, let's look at the last one, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Anybody want to see anything particular? Because I got to get out of here in about 2 minutes. So, if you have anything you want to see now, let's take a look at it. Because, like I said, I've got to get out of here. I got a parade I got to go to. So, meeting up with the family. We're going to be out there at the 4th of July parade, the whole gig, doing the classic. And what we need to do is call it a title. Need to put a title to this webinar today. So let me do that too at the same time. We'll label it the yen webinar today. We'll call it something like the dollar yen trading sideways. I would say that's a good description of it. The dollar yen trading sideways title. I guess that's about it. Let's see, title. There we go. All right, traders, we're out of here. This is the big holiday of the year around here between that and Thanksgiving. So, happy trails to you until we meet again, which will be Tuesday with a real trading market. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. All right, traders, later, traders. Have a very nice 4th of July. And or for those outside the States, be careful. They are thin markets. Ta-ta for now. Yo, Robin.